Welcome to another episode of the Brandon Beeyard Show. So great to have you here. The ever-evolving Brandon Beeyard Show. How are you today? It's mid-October, and that means that, let's say it's October 16th right now. You have 1 month until this year is over. Let's be clear. Because you ain't doing shit once, Christmas comes around, you lose a week for Thanksgiving. This is it. So you can spend this month doing nothing and then just punting everything that was important to you into January, which I've done many times. Or you could just do everything you intended to do this year, do it now, get it done by Thanksgiving. So you're sitting there watching some terrible football game on Thanksgiving Day. You've eaten too much, you drank too much, but you felt good about this past month. And then you can get a little more work done. And then you can be sitting at home, drinking some eggnog, and just feel really good about the way you finished the year. That's what I want to do. I don't know about you. So today I'll tell you a little bit more about where I've been with my show-making journey here. Because as you can see, if you look at the list of episodes, it's been a little bit since I published an episode. And I'll tell you what I've figured out is really important about getting going on your dream, but, especially if it's something creative, but no matter what it is, getting your dream going and then separating some things out there between your ultimate goals and your immediate income needs, how to balance those, because they can really pull you in opposite directions and it's not good. I just want to say real quick, if you're watching on YouTube, how about this background? Pretty good. Pretty good. We're getting there. Got the penthouse here, downtown Austin. As you can see, that's Austin. If you can't tell, that's where I am based. Like I'm a flight attendant. So here's what I've realized. In all of my fits and starts, and all of my stops and pauses on what was really important to me, I just finally realized recently there's a lot of mental clutter going on. And that mental clutter is usually coming from a place of fear. It wouldn't be there if there wasn't some fear. And the more you can just get clear and know who you are, what you want, and just turn off the noise and turn off everything else, the 100 times simpler your life is going to be. I know that I have known what I wanted to do for a really long time, yet I have this mental chatter that's like, oh, are you sure that's really might not be the right thing? Are we really, really sure? The minute here's the hint. If it's something you've wanted for more than 5 years, and it's just a consistent thing that pops up once in a while, I should probably give this a shot. Why am I not doing this? Yeah, I said I was going to be a showmaker. I should probably do that, right? Has it changed? No. Then that's what you need to go all in on. And I know that it has been such a hard thing for me to just accept. I know I have clarity. Go all in on it. But it's hard when you have an income need as well. And here's one thing I'll tell you. If you have gone through some kind of awakening in your life, spiritual awakening, or if you're thinking about going through some therapy with psychedelics or MDMA or something like that, whatever they give you, that is going to change your life. And that's really good. But what I didn't appreciate when I started that journey is I didn't know it was going to just open up so much in my awareness. And then it was going to make me really clear on what I wanted to do. And then I would be unable to start on something that didn't feel authentic after that point. So it's really good to have your income situation figured out before you go in through that process. Because if you don't, you're going to have a hard time starting something that's not authentic to you. But the things that are authentic to you are hard because there's still resistance there. So have a job first, or have your income sorted out if you're self-employed, entrepreneurial, whatever. Doesn't have to be tied to your identity. Get that going because you will be unable to do something just for money after that point. And that was the dilemma that I found myself in, because the kind of businesses that I was willing to start that were kind of surrogates for my creative work that I ultimately wanted to do, which is just show making, I wasn't able to do anymore. But I wasn't able to go to allow myself to put creative energy into something that wasn't the main thing until I was doing the main thing. And when I tried to do that, I wasn't motivated. It felt like something was off. But when I did the main thing, then money issues come up if you don't have that sorted. So they're hopefully they can be the same thing, but they're not always the same thing. All that being said, the most important thing about following your dream and going all in on it is knowing what your North Star is. What is the thing I want to be in my life? And putting that first, no matter what. No matter what, your North Star has to come first in your week. It has to come every week. It has to come ideally at the beginning of every day. And if you have some kind of a job, I get it, but it has to be the overwhelming thing that you spend your week on. That's it. If you can't do it during normal working hours, then you got to do it in the evenings, in the mornings, whatever. But it has to be the thing that's most important to you, that you're putting first and you're making consistent action on. If you just put your North Star first and you just make consistent action, block out time each day to work on it, ideally first, and you don't have any kind of a roadmap or you don't have any kind of a brilliant strategy, but you have committed to just consistent action towards the thing that you really want, your dream, you'll get there. There's just no way you can't. That is the biggest thing that I've learned. Just do that. And if that means you're spending less time getting income for a little bit, or at least at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the day, you just got to deal with it. Because I promise you, it'll fill you up with more energy and you'll be more willing to do something for your business, for your income, even if it's a little different, once you have your North Star dialed in and you're making progress towards it. That's it. If you take nothing else from this episode, that is the thing that I would want to share with you. If you're stalled, so if you do kind of have fits and starts and you don't have a lot of momentum, you got to get started again. And it gets hard when you don't have a lot of momentum, because it feels like the thing that you want to do, it can be really easy and fun, but when you push it off, you procrastinate, you don't make progress on it, then it starts to grow in your mind and become this big thing this big mountain that you're not making any progress on overcoming, and it just seems bigger and bigger and bigger. And the way to get over that is just start. Small actions, forget about how big it feels. Small little actions for a few days. You get a little traction. It starts to feel easier. It starts to feel more doable. And that's it. And just know that because you haven't taken action in a long time, it's going to feel bigger than it actually is. We want it to feel easy and light. And when you're doing it consistently and you have momentum, that's what it feels like. The other thing, I know with my show, I've had a hard time figuring out a name, figuring out who it's for. And that's kind of been an excuse to not make progress, but also part of the reason why I haven't made progress. And the way I've found that's best to get around that is you reframe it in your head, okay? This doesn't have to be, that perfectionism gets in there. This doesn't have to be the perfect final end-all be-all show. It just has to be the version you're working on right now. So I like to think of it like a beta version. I don't have a name. The name of this show is the Brandon Beeyard Show. Maybe that'll stick. I think there's a better name out there. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to waste time trying to think of a name when I need to be making new episodes. I'm just going to make new episodes and trust that with the movement, with the momentum, that name will come when it's ready. So I'm just going forward with this show as this is, thinking about, this is a beta version. This is the 2025, for the rest of this year, I'm going to try to put out as many episodes as I can, make it as best as I can. I know it's not going to be the final version. That's okay. I'm going to get there. I'm going to put some episodes under my belt. And when I get to that, after 10 episodes or so, when I get to that point, okay, now I can pause, look back, what worked, what didn't. You'll know. And then double down on that. Then it's time to scale. You'll figure out the name. These things will come to you. Then you do a rebranding. But you just got to get moving on it. So even if your dream isn't a show, maybe it's doing stand-up comedy, don't let the fact that you don't feel like you have it all figured out and that you're not your ideal perfect self in this and you don't have all the skills yet, don't let that be a reason not to start. Because if you don't start, you'll never get it. So treat this year, this next 3 months, even if there's a month, for God's sakes, left in the year, treat it as like, this is my beta test. Beta version. It's almost there. Got a few things I'll figure out along the way, but I'm just going to go with it. So that's how you keep yourself from being stuck and not moving forward. The other thing, okay, let's get to income. The one guy who should not be talking about income, I'm going to talk about it because I have learned some things, at least some things what not to do. But from the biggest thing that I've learned from working with coaches, from following some very good coaches and people online and stuff, is that income can happen quickly. So if you haven't figured it out yet and you're still working on it and it's separate from your dream, ultimately we want our dreams to make our income, but we're not there yet probably. It can happen quickly. Once you've gotten some things figured out, it can happen very fast. And I think the way it happens very fast is you figure out your North Star, you go all in on it, you make that your overarching priority in your life, and then the income will figure itself out and it can get going quickly. Don't think that it's going to be 6 months until I've made $10,000 a month. You can do it faster, even if you've never done it before. I was watching this episode of William Brown. Just look him up on YouTube, William Brown. He's a guy I've worked personally with before, and he's an online business coach and stuff. But he has a really good way of just being very relatable and normal and telling it like it is. And he had this one episode where he was saying that, he had a client or someone he knew that had no idea how to start a business, had no idea how to coach people, but he would just call people up, DM people, get them on the phone, call them up, have conversations, didn't try to sell them anything. And he would just ask them, what problems are you having? Didn't try to pitch anything. He would go back, he would go to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT that you're like a business coach. You're going to help me make some sales. How would I handle these calls and sell these clients? He would get the answers from ChatGPT. He would go back, call them again, pitch them a solution to their problem. And then he still didn't know how to deliver it necessarily, but he would have coaching calls. He would, sell them for like $4,000 each once a week. That's all right. If you're doing $4,000 a week, oh my God, there you go. 4, 8, 12, $16,000 a month. That's all you need. How about that math, by the way? Really quick, really sharp stuff. So you don't even have to have a business model figured out. And then the same guy would start coaching people on chat, would have coaching calls, wouldn't give them the solution to anything, would just listen, go back to ChatGPT, help it come up with solutions for them, and would go back and present them to the client so that they could solve their own problem. So all of this can happen faster than you think, and it can be simpler than you think. It just gets so much easier once you've put your North Star out there, once you've owned your dream and made progress and decided you're going to make progress towards it. So first income related, business related point, it can happen quickly. Don't stress out. Second point, If you don't know what to do yet, follow your interest. Follow either problems you're interested in solving for yourself or other people, or pick a group of people you're interested in helping and have conversations with them. Reach out to them, DM them, get them on the phone. Maybe they're people that you already know. And just listen, hear what their problems are, and figure out a solution if it's something that you think you can deliver. I think even one step easier than that is pick something that you have a problem with in your own work that you would love. Maybe if you had a bigger budget, that you would pay someone to help you with this problem. Go talk to some other people like you who are maybe have a higher income than you or at a higher level. They have this problem. Hey, I've got a solution. I figured this out for myself. Was this something that would help you? Because I found that if I do it for myself, if I can apply this to your business, it's going to save you 5 hours a week, or it's going to save you $4,000 a month, or it's going to generate $5,000 a month for you, whatever it is. Have those conversations. And if the thing that you figured out for yourself isn't monetizable enough yet, that's okay. Pick a different group of people that you would have fun talking to, that you would enjoy solving problems for, and have those conversations. Figure out what their pain points are. Okay, maybe there's a solution I can give you that I think I'm able to do that would be really helpful to you as the client. And that's it. Do that for a couple different groups. You'll figure it out. So don't stress about income. Just follow your interest and apply a business lens to it. That's what I would say. That's all I'm giving you on that front right now. So as we move forward here over the next few months, the year is getting long in the tooth. The days are getting darker. Winter is coming. And, we still have to do things. We still have to make our progress on our dream. We still have to make things happen. So don't give up. There's a lot that you can do between now and the end of the year. And if you want to follow along, you'll see that what I'm doing as I am iterating on this show, as I'm maybe helping other show makers. I know that from making this, the things that I know I wish I had help on that I have either solved myself or got hired help are like the branding, the visuals. I spent longer than I needed to on this background, things like that. The look, the feel of the show, the editing, getting good clips, things that I hate doing. I know that other people hate doing that too. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can help them do that, finding the solution. But that's on the business side. On the show side, I want to make this a more fun place. I want to make this a place where if you have a dream, if you have something that you want to do that is generally entrepreneurial in some way, but mostly creative, involves putting yourself out there, that I'm here and I'm going to just open the door, show you what I'm doing, show you what I'm learning, bring on other people who have figured it out so we can all move faster. And I just want to make it fun. This episode, more informative, not as light and fun, but we'll get there. So I hope this has been helpful. DM me if you're, or comment if you have questions. Happy to help. And until next time, this has been the Brandon Beeyard Show. Go out there, kick October's ass. I'll see you next time.